Using the metric system. What do you call an inchworm that goes metric? A centipede. Using the metric system. Today we're going to identify appropriate metric measures and convert metric units. Standard 8.5.1. Convert common measurements for length, area, volume, weight, capacity, and time to equivalent measurements within the same system. Now we're going to complete this metric units of measurement table. The metric unit of measure for length, the basic unit is meter. Now there are several other units that help us with that. We have millimeter, which is mm, centimeter, which is cm, meter, the abbreviation is m, and kilometer, which is km. A millimeter is about the thickness of a dime. A centimeter is about the width of your thumbnail. A meter is about the distance from a doorknob to the floor. And a kilometer is a little more than 1/2 mile. The basic unit for capacity, or to figure out how much something can hold, is liter. Now we're going to also talk about milliliters, which are ml. That's about 5 drops of water. And we're going to talk about liters, which the abbreviation is just L. And that's a little more than a quart of milk. Most people are very familiar with liters because of a 2-liter bottle of pop. And to find the mass of something, our basic unit is gram. Now we have 3 smaller units that we talk about. We have milligram, which is about the mass of a speck of sawdust. A gram is about the mass of a paperclip. And a kilogram is 1/2 the mass of your math book. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down the notes. Don't forget, you have to have a question written down that we'll discuss tomorrow in class. For number 1, we're estimating with metric units. Choose a reasonable estimate. For 1A, we have the capacity of a drinking glass. Is it 500 liters or 500 milliliters? If you think logically, liters, 500 liters would be 250 2 liters of pop. There's no way your drinking glass could hold that. So your drinking glass would hold 500 milliliters. That's about 1/2 quart of milk. For B, mass of a pair of hiking boots. 1 kilogram or 1 gram. Now remember, 1 gram is a paperclip. There's no way the mass of your hiking boots could be 1 gram. They are closer to about 1/2 the mass of your math book. So 1 kilogram would be correct for the mass of a pair of hiking boots. When you're converting metric units or customary units, I would strongly suggest that you have your Indiana ISTEP reference sheet handy because you need to be able to have some conversions available for you. When we're talking about changing from milliliters to liters, we know that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So if we want to convert 7,603 milliliters into liters, we're going to divide that 7,603 by 1,000. So we end up with 7.603. So 7,603 milliliters is 7.603 liters. For number 2B, we have 4.57 meters, and we're trying to figure out how many centimeters that is. Well, we know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. Since centimeters are smaller, we're going to multiply that meters times 100. So 4.57 times 100. 4.57 times 100 is 457. So 4.57 meters equals 457 centimeters. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down the notes. Don't forget, you have to have a question written down that we'll discuss tomorrow in class. For example number 3, converting metric units. A blue whale caught in 1931 was about 2,900 centimeters long. What was its length in meters? We start off by the length in centimeters. The length in centimeters was 2,900 centimeters. We know that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter, so we're going to have to divide the 2,900 centimeters by 100 centimeters. 2,900 divided by 100 gives us 29. So the length of the whale was about 29 meters long. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down the notes. Let's take a look at the quick check. Choose a reasonable estimate. Explain your choice. For 1A, distance between two cities, 50 millimeters or 50 kilometers. 50 millimeters would be the same as 5 centimeters. If you think about that, that's about how wide your hand is, 5 fingers wide. 50 millimeters doesn't even come close to making sense. 50 kilometers, on the other hand, makes perfect sense. For part B, the amount of liquid that an eyedropper holds. 10 milliliters or 10 liters. Remember how big liters are. 10 liters would be the same as 2 liters a pop. So really the reasonable answer is 10 milliliters for an eyedropper, how much liquid it can hold. For number 2A, on the quick check, we're going to complete each statement. We have 35 milliliters and we're converting it into liters. We know there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So we're going to take 35 and divide by 1,000. When we do that, we get 0.035. So 35 milliliters equals 0.035 liters. For 2B, we're converting 250 kilograms into grams. We are working backwards, but it's the same concept. There are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. So if you're going from kilograms to grams, we're going to multiply. We're going to take 250 times 1,000. So our answer ends up being 250,000 grams. And finally, for 2C, we have 60 meters being converted into centimeters. There are 100 centimeters in every meter. So to figure out how many centimeters are in 60 meters, we're going to take 60 times 100. When we take 60 times 100, we get 6,000 centimeters. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down the notes. Don't forget, you have to have a question written down that we'll discuss tomorrow in class. For 3A, the record for the highest kite has flown is 3.8 kilometers. Find the height of the kite in meters. So we're trying to figure out what 3.8 kilometers equals how many meters. Well, there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So we're going to take 3.8 times 1,000 because 1 kilometer would be 1,000 meters. So if we multiply by 1,000, we'll find out that the height of the kite was 3,800 meters. For the last example, you have a recipe that requires 0.25 liters of milk. Your measuring cup is marked only in milliliters. How many milliliters of milk do you need? So you're converting 0.25 liters into milliliters. Well, we know that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So we're going to take the 0.25 liters and multiply it by 1,000. 250 milliliters. So you would need 250 milliliters of milk to put into the recipe. Pause the video at this time if you need more time to copy down the notes. Don't forget, you have to have a question written down that we'll discuss tomorrow in class.